Hello, my name is Michael O'Keefe, aka The Movie Wist. If you enjoy this interview and want to hear more top-notch film industry conversations, please press the thumbs up, subscribe to this channel, and hit the bell to stay in the know. Number 10. The Escaping Man is a Chinese gangster movie void of the triads or smoke-filled rooms with the seemingly omnipotent puppet study of the environment at hand. We get a more earthbound characters. Earthbound but lousy characters. That is, there is a lot of deceit, lies, confusion, and bickering in this movie that makes it seem like these characters could be nominated one day into the world of The Godfather, but are still basically ordinary. There is an appeal and distinction there, but is the movie fun, you might be wondering? It's pretty good stuff. It's mostly fun and engaging, but it is a little clunky at times. It chugs along to the end and then it's over. The movie had me wondering, what was it about it that is sticking out, but now it has been articulated. The movie maybe needs a second viewing to be fully appreciated, or perhaps reading this review or hearing this review is a real cheat code. I think Chinese people will like this one more than my non-Chinese Canadian friends, unfortunately. I wouldn't recommend it to those as a gateway to Chinese movies either. But it does have stuff going on in it. It's pretty engaging. It has a good script. It has good actors. The director is cool. I'd watch the other stuff. Just don't expect anything too special here. Number 9. The Guest is a pretty rancid in a fun way movie from South Korea. It has creepy performances, it has distrust leading to violence, and it all comes and goes in less than 80 minutes. Short movies, and this one is quite short, are viewed as unsatisfactory, and maybe they are. Or maybe you should just adjust and know what you're getting into before the lights dim or you watch this at home. We get some build up to the mentioned creepiness and the mentioned violence, but perhaps not enough. But now that you know that you can know that the movie takes shortcuts for whatever reason, I don't know who set out to make it a 70-minute creep fest. They do need a little bit more time to develop things, but maybe stuff had to be cut out and they ran out of money. So we get what we get with the film. The ending is satisfying, maybe not cohesively, but if it was shown isolated and out of context, I would have been interested in watching the whole movie despite the lack of a duration that we get. The movie is cool. It's fine. It's kind of interchangeable, and as mentioned, it is notably short. But whatever. I still feel fine recommending it to people who might have seen other short movies and have gotten fulfillments. Number 8. Movie 18 times 2 Beyond Youthful Days is a bit of a downer, upbeat at times. It's like an upbeat downer. A movie that is happily unhappy, a little bit morose but perky in its slick form of a cinema where things can be resolved in a quick duration. So the guy who loses his company at an early age and has a life crisis. He moves from Taiwan to Japan. He has a simple job living with others who have not achieved what he has achieved in life. To be surrounded by this simply harmless people looks nice, but also seems wrong. Perhaps he should have slutted out with another company instead of making such a radical change in his life. There is a question of what is important in life and what one's priorities should be. I think the whole premise of this movie is a little strange, but for what it is enjoyable mostly throughout. There is a nice female to balance things out. That dynamic worked for me. But still, taking this premise at face value is a little hard for me to do, to be quite frank, and I do enjoy existential angst in cinema. It is kind of neat that we get Chinese language and Japanese language spoken in the film. The subtitle coordination worked nicely here. There's some cool performances here and a bizarre script. Number 7. We have a lot of transient people who superficially have it together here in Be With Me. It's mostly a romantic affair with some in-depth character work that might be a little too long, but is still good material. It's nice to see not just successful creatives be depicted as a mess, but also entrepreneurial types who are successful in business. We also get some nice movie within the movie here. A movie is being produced, so we see some scenes, and thankfully they are in black and white as to not confuse us too much and reflect what is happening well enough in the main storyline. I like to mention depth here. The romantic back and forth interaction are a lot more substantive than boy meets girl, boy loses girl, boy gets girl back in a dynamic that is as static as porn. Watch this movie with a Cary Grant screwball comedy like His Girl Friday. That would be the ultimate way to watch this movie, perhaps. But seeing it at this year's New York Asian Film Festival would probably be better if you're looking for more realistic human depictions, but also want it to be entertaining. You've got it here. The writing might be better than the acting, but the package is very much worthwhile. Number 6, the movie Let's Go Karaoke is pretty funny. It deals with the karaoke contest and finding yourself while trying to get the right voice for music. It is not merely a matter of knowing lyrics and mastering voice pitch here. It is also a matter of living the life of the tone you want to project in saying so it's not a lie. If you seem angry, a part of you is angry. If you seem like you are in love, you know what love is. Going down all the paths of human experience are all a part of things here. We go from students in the school to students mingling with the Yakuza in karaoke bars to do homework. I didn't think that angle was going to come into play here where the movie started. I thought it would all be the students in some high school musical scenario, which frankly seemed kind of lame at first. The meaning behind the movie, as well as the direction it takes, offers something else completely. If you allow time for this story to develop, you just might fall in love, or at least enjoy this film. The whole experience was saved by the Yakuza and the exploration of the human soul to understand what makes good music or even good culture, filmmaking and culture. Let's go, humanity. Number 5. Love Lies has a great topic. Online love scams. This happens so often, and yes, it is grisly stuff, but it is extreme, even a fertile terrain for cinema to expand its wings towards despite or perhaps because of its the nastiness. To learn how people are trained to exploit people's vulnerabilities like this is interesting and helpful to spot for the future. The movie also asks if people are having fun, even while deluded. Is it all really a bad thing? I'm inclined to say yes, but I'll partially put that thought away for the duration of a pretty darn entertaining film, which mostly sustains in terms of entertainment off of its content. I'm not gonna lie, I do use dating apps, and there are a high amount of scammers in the form of pictures of Asian women. That synced up nicely for me. My personal experience was key to my entertainment. I also have known people who have gotten brutally burned by love scams. Sometimes lives fall apart from this. And that is why I want to see it in a movie, because it's real, contemporary, it's first conversation. The actors from the victims of the scammers are good here and sustain the experience. They aren't the best I've seen from Asia, but they are perfectly fine. They entertained me, made me laugh, and made me think. God, before venturing into some films for the New York Asian Film Festival on my first day watching some, I decided to stream Godzilla vs. Biollante on the Criterion channel, which turned out to really complement the day. Brush of the God is a sentimental sort of film looking at the types of people who like kaiju movies, as well as people who know the people who like kaiju films. This is not simply some hardcore nerd fest. It has a cool look at kaiju, which certainly helps. But it looks at how we feel and respond to looking at a cool kaiju, as well as how people look and respond to us looking at it. That added dimension of loved ones from this is very sweet. It's an endearing experience for me, and the story is nice. It has a family-friendly angle, while also embracing nostalgia, making it enjoyable for the whole family. The family with at least one kaiju fan, that is. I don't know how many North American families will watch this, but I certainly like the broad notion of appreciation for cinema and the people who support it. The music might have been a little sappy for me. The material could be viewed entirely as sappy, but if you are a little forgiving towards it from that angle, you might find yourself being swept up by this film. Number 3. Bushido was so pretty. The images are so soft. It's like being transported into the Katsu days, the Kurosawa days. We get a movie dealing with the code of Bushido and the look of celluloid. Lucky us. At the end of the movie, during the credits, we learn that the English translation was done by Norman England, whom I interviewed 2 years ago about his book, talking about his kaiju experiences. I felt a deeper connection to this solid project after that, and what a thrill. This movie does have some blood, but it's mostly introspective interactions of people talking in rooms looking menacing. There's a lot of period detail from the Asian chessboard to the costumes and setting. If Stanley Kubrick's Barry Lyndon is the gold standard for period accuracy, this is a few notches beneath that, but think about it like a silver standard then. It must be noted that when the violence does come, it is sudden, terse, and very effective. Beautiful feels like the right word for it, since it has a natural outcome and done so well. It is a feast on the eyes. Any fan of the Bushido philosophy or samurai movies in general should get a kick out of this one. I want to emphasize newcomers to check this out. You don't have to have seen a single Kurosawa film to appreciate this banner. Number 2. Twilight of the Warriors, Walden, is one of those movies you need every year. A lot of martial arts movies still get made, but not enough of them have the potential cultural relevancy that this one has. If fans of martial arts movies don't like this one, we are doomed. It goes hard. The plot might be convoluted, but so are a lot of these types of movies. The premise is simple enough, and the action goes hard. The warriors are walled into this dystopian junk town in China, especially in a real time and place during the 80s. All the sleazy people are separated from the quote-unquote nice people. So we get this movie fun hellscape. A lot of gangsters seek power by angling one another and beating one another. Some are good guy type of gangsters who are simply compromised by their environment, but plenty of them thrive off the jungle law. This one was on my radar when it was announced to be playing at the Cannes Film Festival, and I remember looking at an image of Sammo Hung, laid back smoking in the movie, and thought to myself, there's no way that this can suck. It did indeed not suck. It was excellent. I thoroughly enjoyed watching it on my TV, trying to follow everything, being engrossed in the environments. Some of the characters And of course, all of the action. Number one, when this is all over. When I interviewed Samuel Jamier, the executive director of the New York Asian Film Festival over the summer of 2024, I knew that this would be the first movie I would watch for the festival. It's so funny, but it's also so cool, captivating and touching. Why I just pretty much knew it would be funny. All of those other elements make it more than just the novelty of a Filipino stoner. Stoner movies are great because so many people are stoned through life and don't really have representation in the majority of films. They are raunchy and intense, though, so I get it. It's not easy escapism. But this movie has a lead called The Guy. We never get to know his real name, and that's part of the fun. He is like a composite character for all of the guys that we've known in our lifetime or have heard of him. He has various clientele in the building. The four numbers they are in at indicate status, and a lot of his customers insist that the guy share his piranhas with him to be cool or whatever. So the idea of doing a stoner movie in the land where drugs are so criminalized, is solid. But this movie is more like the new Beavis and Butthead than the old one. It shows us who we are, which can be as sad as it is funny.